collectors. I said I was going to do a review on this bad boy as soon as I got it in my hot hands, my hot little collector hands. And here we go. It's very interesting, a little background on fans' hobby as it pertains to me, not the company itself. I would always see them putting out some amazing Transformer customs or third-party knockoff type of stuff. And I would always think to myself, man, that's pretty cool that those guys do that. But I wouldn't really pay them too much attention because none of what they did, I mean, I love the Transformers, but I didn't fans hobby love the Transformers, right? I really liked them, but not to the point that some of the other people that have some of the fans hobby Transformer things love them. So yeah, I knew they were out there. I knew about them. Now, where they started becoming relevant to me was when they started doing this. And the first one that grabbed me by the neck and grabbed my attention was the Air Eagle. And we'll do some comparisons with it. And we'll also do some comparisons with some other vehicles. But here it is, the UNITHUNDER, not Fang, COBRA FANG of fans hobby, what they put together. So to me, here, let me get it out of here. I think what's happening here with fans hobby and with a couple of other third-party companies is that they're just taking advantage of Hasbro's laziness, Hasbro's absolute inability to move in the direction that we want them to move. We've been asking for this. We've been asking for the Thunder Machine. We've been asking for like the Havoc, the Hydrofoil. We've been asking for so many products, and insert pick of super slow motion incompetency right here. That's Hasbro. So, I mean, good. Wait, hold on. This thing is backing in. There we go. And it's too bad that just Hasbro does not stay on top of it. They're just goofing around. Oh, and in case you don't know, for those of you that don't know, I like to give a little bit of a background, and I like to babble on about nonsense. This is nonsense. All of these toys that are around me, in case you're new to the channel, I don't get crazy about this stuff, really. I just like to talk about it, the hobby, and all that stuff. And yeah, it's nonsense. It's babbling. But let's babble on about this thing, UNITHUNDER. If Hasbro had done something like this, you would have gotten a figure, probably, but you would not have gotten any electronics that come with it. And when I first saw this, I was like, this is probably the closest thing to a Fang we're going to get. So I'm definitely going to pick it up. Here, let me bring this a little bit closer so you guys can see some of this. There you go. Yep, we'll go over all of it here. Let me bring it up closer, but I'll have to adjust the camera a tiny bit. Rotating blades with, with hanging point, single cockpit, Gatling gun, missiles and drop bombs included, some stickers with lighting effect. There you go. See, electronics. All right, let's go ahead and get into this bad boy. Let's open it up. Here comes the unboxing. I'm really excited. The Fang was one of the only vehicles, one of the very few vehicles that I purchased with my cash as a kid, So I think I purchased like 3 or 4 of them as a kid. They were inexpensive. They didn't come with a figure, but I had some figures and I could put them on there. So, yep, these were accessible vehicles. Like a lot of you, I was not the one rich kid who had all of the vehicles. There was that one rich kid in my in my neighborhood. Well, not really. He wasn't in my neighborhood. He was in my cousin's neighborhood that had all the G.I. Joe stuff. Anyways, here is the book of stickers, which is cool. I have some Cobra stickers as well. I'll be using them in conjunction with this. And here are the instructions. Yeah, I mean, it kind of follows in the same direction as the Air Eagle. And we'll go through it real quick. We'll go through it. Let me pop these directions out. All right, so here we are with the directions forever memorialized on the babbling YouTubes, so that if anyone ever wants to go back and look through this in time, you will see what we had to do. There you go. Pause it if you need to review them. And we'll follow. Man, there's a lot. There's like 31 steps. Good gosh. Good gravy. All right. Well, let's start unboxing it, and then we'll go through putting it together. And I'll pause on anything. So here's what I'm not going to torture you guys with putting the whole thing together, but what I will do is if I hit a spot that causes me some issues. I bought 2 of these, by the way, because COBRA fangs do not work by themselves. Where there's one, there's another. And so I bought a couple of them. And like I said, they're about $100. I think it's well worth the cost, for a fang. But let's get into it and see if it truly is. I'm just saying it. If it's everything that it promised us, then it is worth the cost. If not, well, we'll see. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's unbox it. Here we go. Unboxing. So stupid. All right. So here's what we see straight out of the box. We'll unbox it, and then I'll start putting it together in a minute. But there we go. Let's see what we got here. We've got some missiles. I'm so glad that they're red, because that's the same thing that the Fang came with, the red missiles, right? So here's another missile and another missile. I think that's it. I think it only really had 4. So there's 4 missiles there. Let's just pull out the cockpit. Now, in case you're wondering, yes, it looks very much like the cockpit that came with the Air Eagle, or not the Skyhawk. But this is very smart reuse. I mean, this is what I expect a smart company to do, right? So it's very smart reuse of a mold that they already have. This is also something that was very interesting to me, is that, well, I'll fiddle around with that later. But whenever I was a kid, and even as a kid, I was like, why is the cockpit open? Anybody can shoot this dope. I mean, not like it's, the helicopter glass is gunproof or bulletproof, but at a minimum, it offers some protection against the elements, right? So there you go. Let me zoom in on it a little better. Here is the cockpit and how it comes. I think there are some electronics in there, and we'll get to that in a minute. So anyways, here's how it comes. We'll set it to the side here. Please don't fall. We've got some more parts over here as well. Oh, this is the rotor assembly for the top. What else do we have in here? Some more shenanigans over here. We'll put it together. And if there's a part where I don't know or I have some trouble, we'll go through that as well. Oh, these are the skids, I believe. Here are the blades. The rotating blades. Is that? Where's the fuselage? Oh, here it is. Here's the fuselage right here, the tail. There you go. Little tail there. There you go. Let me get a closer look. There you go. Closer look. Closer look. Oh, man, Fang. Finally, the Fang. Oh, man, the one giant bomb, dummy bomb. There it is. The dummy bomb. I love having the ability that some of these companies have to print 3D stuff, but one day I hope we get the ability to print 3D stuff so well that it looks like, the vacuum molded plastic, and there's, it's all smooth and stuff. And then you've got the Gatling gun up here, the shenanigans right there. We go. The Gatling gun right here. Or the nose that goes in the front nose there. There were lasers in the original Fang. Here's some skids here. Oh wait, I was wrong. Here's a set of skids here. And where's the other set? Oh, here it is. It's over here. And the other set of skids over here. All right then. That's it. That's all of it, I think. All right, let me start putting this together. Maybe I'll do a time lapse. Maybe I won't. I'm not sure, but let's start putting this thing together. Okay, we're back, fully assembled. I think the only tricky part was, but it's also very cool that they've added the stable, like, I don't know how to explain it to you, but whenever this one, so it's basically, they tried to add the same motion as a real helicopter would have on the blades, right? Whenever the pitch on the blade goes down and up, and however you would slow it down or make it go forward, they added that little detail here. Very cool, really dig it. That was a little tough to get on, but not a big deal. Just the connection here, the electronic connection that goes from here to here, that was interesting. The one part that I had a lot of trouble with was how these missiles or rockets slide in. I think you're going to have, some people might break that because they slide in through the back over here. You just kind of put them up there and then slide them in. You can do it either way, but it's like it's not even a hook. I would have preferred them to just clip on or just push them on like regular missiles, right? But no, they did a little bit of fanciness there. I think if you're not careful, you might just be careful with this part. Was there anything else? I don't know if this is supposed to go here. Let me get real good on that. I don't know if this is all supposed to go all the way in. I don't want to break this, so I'm going to leave it. I think that's okay. I don't mind it. Here's what we have inside the cockpit here. And we're going to add got instrument panel there, which is pretty neat. I'm sure that lights up. Very reminiscent of the Sky Eagle. Yes, this does move. So we're able to take down some Joes side to side. So it's got some articulation there. Very nice. Yeah, does this move? Hey, that little rotor in the back moves too. This has two options. You can either have this trim or that trim. To me, this is a much better looking trim and definitely what Cobra would pick. So I use that trim. What else? Like I said, I don't know why we didn't have, I don't know, maybe they ran out of money, but I definitely like them to have a cover when they're in this cockpit. And this thing just snaps on here. It's not a big deal. It just goes on there. I'm going to take it off for now because what we have to do is add some batteries. And this little guy right here just kind of pops off from here and then you take it off. And you got to get some AG13 batteries and a couple of AAA batteries to go in here. And let me put those in there right quick. Shouldn't be a big deal. Just give me a second. So I've got the batteries in here. These are a little tough to put in. These are super easy. These are kind of tough. But who else keeps a set? Quite a few of the AG13s. Well, weirdos like me that buy these third-party freaking toys that know that, hey, they always use these weird batteries. I mean, they're weird to me because there's just not batteries that we use. All right, is that all the way in? Let me push that in, this in. Should just clip right in there. 1 second. It was a little bit tough to get in there, but it eventually worked itself out. All right, here we go. The piece de resistance. There's a little button right here that you press for lights. There we go. Look at those lights light up. You see that? That's what I'm talking about. Hasbro, let's do right. Let's give us some lights. I'll turn the lights out later so we can... You got a light down there at the bottom of the rotor. You got a light in the front so we can chase those do-good-nothing Joes. A green light here on the side. The controls light up. As you can see here, let me turn them on and off so you can see. See that? And then you got a blinking light. Whoa, an extra transistor in the back there. And then you got a red light over here in the side, which is, look at that. Such simple things that bring tremendous joy. All right, and then let me put a figure in there before we turn on the whole situation there. Now, nobody else should be flying a Fang. I prohibit anybody on the internet to put anything other than a Cobra Trooper in there. I prohibit you. It's just me talking nonsense, guys. I don't want to hear anybody in there going, "Oh, how dare you!" It's just nonsense. All right, let's put him in there. Let's put this little guy in there. See if he fits all the way in. I've actually fit roadblock in these things, so he'll fit. It's just a matter of getting him in there. Plus, he's also got those pedals down there that he's got to fit into. It's got a lot of room, but those pedals, yeah, he's got those little pedals in there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's some little pedals that I showed you way back when the Skyhawk was there, and yeah, those pedals are there, so you don't have to do a lot, just, there we go. So there he is. There you go. Now, let's put I like it with the lid on there. I don't think he should be flying around without it. Let me see, how hard is it to put it on back on here? How did I do it last? How did I do this? So I made this much harder than it is. It just kind of slides right underneath it and then clips on. Just like that. The front clips on, I believe. So it just slides right. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's not really secured. It doesn't really come up or nothing. It just kind of, I think there's a catch up here at the front, and it slides right behind there. So, like, you just slide it in and then, anyways. So there's the lights. Let's turn on the rotors. Let's see what happens. Watch out. Automatic shenanigans. Look at this. There you go. I love it. Definitely worth the money I paid for it. Let's turn out the lights real quick and do it. Hold on. All right, so this is what it looks like. I can't even see very well, but here he is. Let me turn off this motor so you can see the inside of the cockpit there, what he's looking at. So there you go. That's how the cockpit lights up and illuminates him. Let's pop this off real quick. Pretend that he's, it's hard to see. I don't have the best night vision anymore. I'm not that high speed of a soldier. Do you guys remember what they told you to do whenever you're in your seat? Here's something. I'm gonna teach you a little soldier lesson. Whenever you're out in the middle of on the range or whatever, and they're firing off flares, you're supposed to do what with your eyes to maintain your night vision? Leave it in the comments below if you're a true soldier and know. Anyways, there's that. Let's see if I can zero in on that really well. Anyways, that's what he looks like in there. Man, this is just great, right? They did a really good job. I think Fans Hobby did another cool thing there. All right, 1 second. All right, I'm gonna turn off the lights. Lights off. Light, there we go. And what I'm gonna do next is just compare some vehicles to it, get it on a 1-to-1 scale, put some vehicles next to it. I don't find this awkward. Some people were complaining that the canopy looks a little bit awkward. I don't think it does. Does it remind you of the canopy of the Skyhawk? A little bit. I think they could have done better kind of reshaping it, but they're trying to get the best, the best bang for their buck out of their molds. This doesn't look, this camera's distorting the look of it a little bit. Let me go to a 1-to-1 and see if you guys, let me get a couple more vehicles up here, go to a 1-to-1 and see if it makes a difference for you. 1 second. So that's what it looks like at a 1-to-1 scale. I don't mind it. I mean, the original Fang looked a little bit like this, right? A little bit dopey-ish, like undersized for the figure. And what this is supposed to be is a little helicopter that's supposed to take on, you know, easy to create, easy to put on the battlefield with, you know, armament that could take on, you know, different things from the sky, right? I mean, that might take out a tank or two, baby tank killers, and they might even be able to take on the Dragonfly, and we'll compare them in a minute. But let me get some other vehicles up here that I have on hand so you guys take a look. All right, so you'll forgive me because I'm doing this freehand and hopefully it doesn't look too bad, but let me give you from the top. That's what it looks like from the top at a 1-to-1 scale. All right, let me come down here. This is what it looks like, and that's a gridironed out Vamp, or was it? No, Stinger, and that's a Tiger Paw that I customized, and in the middle you have the Fang. No, not Fang. UNITHUNDER. So there you go. That's a little bit of a size comparison. Let me come over here for a bit. There you go. Let me go grab the Dragonfly to see how it compares. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get both of these on here. All right, so here it is, what you've probably been waiting for. I would say, I mean, the Dragonfly is about, let's see, it's about, well, the Fang, I'm just gonna call it the Fang. The Fang is about 3/4 the size of, if you measure it from tip to tip, right? From there to the back of that rotor, it's about 3/4 the size of it. Here, let me see if I can go high enough to show you from the top, because I know that's what a lot of you have been waiting for. I think I got it all in there. Did I? Anyways, so there you go. Ultimately, what I think is that, I mean, just being silly, right? In a real world scenario, to me, I think the Dragonfly would have far better capabilities in avionics than the Fang, but the Fang would be way easier to produce and way cheaper to produce than that bad boy. So ultimately, what would you concentrate on as a battlefield commander? The Fang can probably do most of what the Dragonfly can do, and with less people. But you also have the Dragonfly, which can do just that much more. And is that much more worth all of the, you know, expense that goes into one of these? I don't know. It's because we're just talking nonsense, right? We're just being silly. But in a real world battle, if that guy gets distracted, that Dragonfly pilot gets distracted, that Gatling gun and those missiles can probably do a lot of damage to that Dragonfly. So it's up to 2 brains is better than 1, hopefully. But anyways, I love it. I absolutely love the Fang. Do I think there are a little bit of critiques that I would say? I would have liked to see the cockpit tapered a little more, like tapered in a little bit like this, a little more. But I'm not going to beat them up for it. I mean, number one, since I was a kid, I wanted it to be enclosed. You know, just like this guy is enclosed, because it's protecting them from the elements, and he's more versatile that way. And while it may not be bulletproof, it offers some modicum of protection. And so I really dig that. And you can have it on or off. You can have the cockpit on or off. So, I mean, here's what it looks like off. Let's take it off again. I mean, why not? Come here, you. It's not hard to take off. It's pretty simple. Pops right off. But if you take it off, maybe it looks more like the old Fang, you know? But to me, I like it off. But you can have it off. Anyways, I love it. I think it's a hit. I'm glad I ordered two. Would I order a third one? Probably not. I think two is fine with me. It's going to look great on the field of battle. It's going to look great whenever I build that imaginary Cobra base when I retire. When I have, you know, two fangs next to each other and like three trouble bubbles next to each other and the Cobra hiss. It's going to look like a real army. It's going to look like Cobra Commander's ready to get it on. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you're having as much fun with these toys and this nonsense as I am. Don't take any of this too seriously, folks. I mean, it's really just toys. Don't get worked up about it. It's a doggone hobby. But if you feel the need to let your man venom out on the comments, go on. Go on and do it. I invite you to do so. You're not going to make me cry. You might make me laugh a little bit. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate every single one of you. If you're enjoying my shenanigans, if you're enjoying the toy hunts, why not like, why not subscribe? Worst that can happen is you can bump into me at the Metroplex Collectibles Toy Show, whatever this that Leonard sent me is over here, and grab a deal, a steal, or a sticker, or participate in the giveaways that we have on the channel. So I appreciate everybody that subscribes and joins me in on this hobby. That's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to stress us or tick us off. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate every single one of you. Special thanks to the members. Their input, generosity, and guidance allow this big old nerd to bring you guys better content. As always, as long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep rolling out these shenanigans.